Good morning, and welcome to Finance and Bagels. Today we're gonna find out whether or not you should buy Uber stock, and I'm gonna go over 5 reasons in very simple terms for you to understand whether or not you should add this stock to your portfolio or you should own this stock. So I'm gonna throw in also a little secret for you guys that a few investors know, but not many people know out there about Uber. So let's get started. Number one, I want you to get that investor's intuition. So when you're questioning whether or not you should invest that first $1,000 or whether or not you're investing that extra $1 million in a stock or in a business, you got to understand, first of all, is this business growing? So that's the first check we're going to do about Uber, as I said, in very simple terms. Number one, you know that Uber has two parts of the business. So there is the car sharing part of the business and the delivery part of the business. So number one question is, are those two segments growing? The good news is yes. Number one, when we check here on the graph, the number of monthly active users on the platform, it's increasing, and it's increasing very fast. Every month we have 150 million people using the platform, and they're booking on average 5.6 trips, which is huge. So good news is that you're investing in a business that is growing. Number two, channel check here. Do we have another green flag here about delivery? Same thing. The delivery side of the business is increasing very fast. Actually, since the pandemic, they have more than quadrupled the delivery business and the gross booking they're getting from the delivery. As you can see here, before the pandemic in 2019, they were getting $14 billion of gross booking from delivery, and now they're at $65 billion. So that's a lot. So that's number one. Number two, you want to invest in a business that is growing also and trying to find opportunities in the market to gain market share in other parts of the economy. And guess what? Uber is doing that. Yes, they are adding more verticals to the business. So now you know that there is a car sharing, there is the delivery, and guess what? There is the grocery delivery as well, because in 2021, they made an acquisition of Corner Shop for $1.4 billion, and now you can do delivery, like grocery deliveries from the app. So that's adding another extra layers of revenue for them and for you as an investor. Number two, alcohol. Alcohol delivery also is something they have added to the platform in North America after making another big acquisition. It's a $1 billion acquisition of the company Drizzly. And so you see that they're very smart about expanding in other parts of the economy and other verticals. And in total, they're actually available amongst 11 different retail verticals. You can get flowers delivered, you can get your laptop from Apple delivered via last mile delivery from Uber. So you see where I'm going with this. You know that you're already investing in a business that is smart about ways to make money and finding new ways to grab market share elsewhere in the economy. So that's the number two things that you keep in mind as an investor. Number three is recurring revenue. Recurring revenue is very important for an investor. Everybody likes that because it's that certainty of revenue. And Uber has started to roll out UberONE, which is a subscription plan where you pay $9.99 and you get a bit of a lower fee on your rides and on your delivery as well. And for investors, if you're in the skin of an investor, it's very good because you get that certainty of cash flow. You know, it's like the gym membership. You know, the gym has the certainty that they're gonna get your cash flow whether or not you come to the gym. With UberONE is the same thing. Whether or not you order on the app, they're gonna get that cash flow, and investors know that I'm investing in a business that I'm sure I have some certainty that they're gonna get some cash flow at the end of the month. And it's very positive that you're seeing here on the chart the proportion of revenue that is coming from recurring revenue and subscription is increasing. It was 17% not long ago, and now it's 30%, meaning that every quarter 30% of the revenue is predictable. It's those people with those subscription. So that's very positive. Number four here, it's about advertising. So Uber has added for the merchant side of the business the opportunity for them to advertise, for example, their restaurant, to rank higher, to do a sponsored advertisement in the app. And for you as an investor, that's almost free money, right? It means that Uber, they hire a few tech people that work on unlocking that feature, and automatically you get revenue from advertising from the same platform. You haven't done anything, any investment required. So from an investor standpoint, it's very positive that you say, I'm investing in a business that is capable of unlocking a feature that is gonna bring a lot of revenue without doing anything. And that amount of revenue the advertising is bringing is huge. When they started advertising just in 2021, it was bringing 140 million, which is not a lot. And now in 2023, it brought $900 million. So without doing anything, just giving the opportunity of restaurants to push a little bit, their ranking, you're bringing your investors 900 million, and that's very, very positive. Investors love them. Now, for 2024, we plan for them to increase that amount and bring more than $1 billion in advertising revenue. So that's number 4. Number 5, I don't know if a lot of people know, but there is Uber for Business. So that B2B side of the business is also increasing. Uber for Business, it's like your HR lady in her office creating an account for everyone that, when you go on business trip, you can use your employee account and you can expense this directly to your employer, and that's very positive because, as we know, when it's a business, people are spending more. So we know that Uber for Business clients are spending 4.4 times more as B2C clients like you and I. So that's another thing you're happy to hear when you're an investor. Yeah, push that revenue for Uber for Business, because it's not just for the ride thing, it's also for the delivery. There is actually large order fulfillment for catering. And guess what? They have 170,000 organizations that use Uber for Business and 60% of Fortune 500 companies. So that's really huge. Now, inside Uber for Business, there is also another segment called healthcare, where you can send a car to a patient from a hospital or a clinic, and that also is bringing revenue to Uber. So those are kind of like the 5 things you need to know when you understand the business. Now, before I share the little secret I wanted to share with you on the financing side, on the financial side, I don't want to go and get lost in the details and go over complicated things. The only things you need to understand is that revenues are growing, costs are pretty stable, and profitability is there. So as early as mid last year, they got profitable, made their first profits ever, and that's very positive for the company, because same thing here. You want to invest your first $1,000, you want to invest it in a company that makes money at the end of the day and not lose money. So they're bringing home one key financial terms, $4 billion in terms of EBITDA, and their net income is positive, is a little bit over $1 billion. So that's very, very positive. They don't have a lot of debt. They have $11 billion of debt. That's very reasonable for a company like Uber. And then in terms of free cash flow, so the key metric that even if you're not in finance, you want to learn about is free cash flow. Meaning that once they have their revenue and once they've paid everything and everyone, the car drivers, the delivery people, the expenses, the interest rates, the taxes to the government, once they paid everything, is there money left in the business? And yes, there is. And that free cash flow measure is $3.4 billion as of last year. And they can do whatever they want with that money, basically, because they paid all their obligation. They can either reinvest it in the business or give it back to investors. And we plan that free cash flow measure to grow to $5.6 billion next year, so in 2024, and to $7 billion in 2025. So that free cash flow that is reserved once you've paid everything is going to be shared with investors, because the good news is that Uber has announced that they are going to put in place a share buyback program, a $7 billion share buyback program, and that money is going to go to investor directly. So I think you should, at least get in there, get in that story. Now, the secret I wanted to share with you was about Uber and Uber vision. You have to realize that Uber is going to be the next big app, a little bit like Alipay in China. They have a vision where they want to add more financial services to the app. Right now, as you know, there's Uber Cash, so they're testing a little bit that kind of feature. But later on, going forward in a few years, I can see them adding a checking account. I can see them adding a credit card. They have everybody's data and everyone is on Uber. So easily they can unlock another feature on the app. Another thing, they have an aspiration here. This is from one of their presentation. They have an aspiration also to add maybe travel. So maybe they can, be bookings or hotel.com or a website like this. They can integrate that feature also to the app. And then, you're not just calling your Uber from the airport. You're also booking your whole trip via Uber. So I think, you want to get early in a story like that, because if you missed the ride on Amazon because you didn't invest in this company 10 years ago, in Tesla, in Apple, I think Uber is the next big thing. And in my opinion, it's a company worth looking at. In terms of valuation, for those people that are more advanced in finance, you're looking at 25 EV/EBITDA. It's a little bit expensive on financial metrics, metrics, but I think you're paying for a lot of growth. So personally, I think it's worth it. If you like the video, please comment down below if you own Uber, if you think about investing in Uber, what do you think about this stock? And if you like it, please like, share, comment, share it with your friend, and let me know in the comments if also they own any Uber stocks. But this is a new channel, so let me know if you like the content and you want me to explore this kind of format also going forward for other stocks. Have a nice day and trade safe. Bye bye.